Marshall going up against Bobby Wagner. And with that, we'll send you up to the Pacific Northwest and CenturyLink Field in Seattle, home of the 12s, as we'll welcome in our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Straight ahead, a rematch of Super Bowl 48, and it should be a good one, between the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks. So bad. Mistake there by the kickers. The ball goes out of bounds. And some changes here as the D-line separates some.
Hey. Here we go now. 319. 319. 41 Mike.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
Handoff comes to Anderson. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The offense on your screen now, and our first look at C.J. Anderson.
And what a look it's going to be, making a name for himself rapidly running the football.
Tight end left. Hey, boys, we got 4 down.
Set. Blue, landing. Go now, look at 56.
On 2nd down, Anderson. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Michael Bennett's one of the best pass-rushing defensive linemen in the game. Normally plays defensive end, but when they go to those nickel packages and he works inside, look out, offensive guards. You've got a problem.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
4 down. Check.
All right, now, look at 56. Here we go now. 319.
Just beating the play clock, Simeon. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive.
No. Check. Patriots.
They'll indeed go for it with Lynch. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass.
All right, here we go. Blue line it. Blue line it. Check it back.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And they got 29 yards there. And it'll be first down, Denver.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Hey, we got
Detroit! Detroit!
Kill.
Hurry up, here we go.
They run again on first down. Anderson. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That was another good run, and he's having an excellent day. And right now, I don't think his team could have any more confidence in handing him the football.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey, four down.
All right, here we go.
Now it's a former Seahawk. This is Justin Forsett. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short.
Four down.
Set. 3-19. Back 99. Green 39.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Virgil Green, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. And this one through the uprights and good. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Come on.
Play clock winding down. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Here's Thomas Rawls with his first carry. Oh, he's got a little daylight. A big play there out of the running game. 31 yards.
I love football lingo and the evolution of it all. Nickel defense makes sense, right? Five defensive
DBs.
backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a
Double
dime. A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing. Offenses love to run against dime defenses. Typically, the bigger guys have an advantage against the smaller defensive backs when they're blocking downfield.
Yeah, we saw that advantage right there. Wilson able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
Flushed out right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So the D-line's going to spread out.
Over! Detroit!
They start the drive with Anderson, and he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
We are watching a runner having a really nice game. Carrying it very well. Vision is excellent, but boy, look at the help he's getting. Offensive line, I think they're pretty eager to block for him.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Leopard! Leopard! Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Again, Anderson. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaunt. Bronco football to begin.
Good stop, baby. Good stop. Good stop.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
Watch it now, boys. Over. Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Anderson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
Right. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now Anderson. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down. Detroit! Back it up, Philly, here we go!
Simeon wants to throw on 3rd and 1. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. 17 yards on the pickup there and also a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yes.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Back it up, Philly, here we go! All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
They run. Anderson. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss.
All right, here we go. Detroit! Check!
On second down, here's Simeon. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Mike Bennett able to drop him for a loss of 4. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They snap it at 1. Now it's Lynch. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Marlon Brown, 34 yards. And the Broncos will extend their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Tyler Lockett now with a return. Uses the stiff arm. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
They go back to the air here after the INT. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it's second down. And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal. And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Now it's Wilson. He hits Jermaine Kearse. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 1:59 to go in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. And the wideout in motion. On first down, Wilson being chased out left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And that'll bring up second down.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Second and 10. It's Wilson again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
Way to go, guys.
Check. Fresno.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They run with a power back. Rawls. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And quickly, they get to the line.
Hey, switch gears. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Gun. Check 3. Trick. Motion.
Now Wilson on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, wide open, complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Jermaine Kearse, 47 yards. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. So they're going to go for two.
Strong left, strong left, strong left.
Now they'll put a receiver in motion left. They'll run it. This is Procise. And he will get into the end zone, and the two-point conversion will cut this down to a 6-point game. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be good for a Denver first down.
Watch it now, Barney.
They run it again with Anderson. And he's got some space here. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what
And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe...
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now.
Over!
From the 50, it's Simeon. Sanders has it over the middle. Sanders, the former SMU product, had 79 catches last year, over 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. They're going to need more of him in Denver if they want to get back into the playoffs.
Part of a great tandem, he and Demaryius Thomas, and Demaryius plays out wide. He's one of those guys that you send him out there and let him work one-on-one and uses his big body and his big frame to get open. Emmanuel Sanders, he has the ability to work inside as well. And he's not just quick, he's also fast, and he's dependable for a quarterback because a lot of the routes he runs are right in the sight line. Easy throws for a QB.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA's. Hey, you. Yeah, you. John. Why'd you skip Larry's halftime? I'm just kidding. I don't know who you are. But if you're John, I bet you're pretty freaked out for a second. All right, let's get to the 3rd quarter. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Curse goes in motion right. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Jermaine Kearse, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks are now just an extra point away from moving out in front. Stephen Hauschka for the point after. And it's no good. He missed it. And the game remains tied. Oh, boy. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Here's Anderson. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Tight ends on the Lucy. Tight ends on the Lucy. Tight ends on the Lucy. Here we go now.
Throwing on third down, Simeon. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
Blue 90. 41's the mic. 41's the mic. Check 41. Go! Here we go.
They're going to go. It's Booker. And he is going to lose yardage here. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 5-yard line.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
Now receiver in motion left. First and goal from the 5. They'll try and run down here with Procise. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. Defensively, they must have been expecting a pass. They were in the dime look out there.
I think maybe they were deciding to go with speed on the field rather than bulk. I'm with you, a little bit surprising, but they wanted people getting to the ball as fast as possible. The lighter should...
And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Marcel Reese taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. And this is going to be roughing the kicker, an inexcusable penalty, Charles.
You've worked so hard to hold them to a 3-point kick. Now you're giving them the ball again with a chance for a touchdown.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Now a run with Anderson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. To throw is Simeon, sliding out of the pocket. Now he'll let it, and the defense loses him. It's complete. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A huge play there for Denver. 58 yards. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
Back to throw, Simeon. That's caught. It's Thomas. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
2nd and goal. Still a decent chunk of yardage here. They're on the 8. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball.
From the 3-yard line once more. Now here's 3rd and goal.
All right, now, lock it in now, boy.
They come out here in the eye. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Virgil Green, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These 2 teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. Lockett the return.
Uh-oh. It's tied.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 98 yards. And the Seahawks are going to take the lead. This game wasn't tied for long. How about that? A big return here in the 4th.
And this is that time of game where every big play is magnified. 4th quarter, kick return for a touchdown. You've got to feel great about your chances at this stage of the game.
Yeah, they regain the lead. Now we'll see if they can hold it. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
Wow.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. 2nd down following the incompletion.
I smell fear in that offense.
A play fake to Anderson. It's Simeon. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Nice.
They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
And the Seahawks add a couple of extra DBs going with the dime look here.
Indeed, 6 on the field. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it that you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the 4th quarter, you got to feel pretty good as a defense.
Now Lynch to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Now Wilson on first down. It's complete to Lockett. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. A defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
On 2nd down, Rawls. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Thomas Rawls from 17 yards out. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys.
Man, only thing your ass can do is run the ball, dog.
Also showed confidence.
You wasting all that damn time, but you wish you had the shit now, don't you?
So now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
He'll air it out deep for Thomas.
Hell
and
no.
that one
Fuck
falls
out of here, man. No
incomplete.
passing
Looked like
game.
he
Just
might
run the
have
ball and waste the
position
damn
there,
clock.
but he couldn't hold on to it.
Garbage.
2nd
Once we
down.
take the lead, it's a wrap.
One thing I know from experience
You
is
ain't
that when the
finna-
deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
A 2nd down carry for Booker. And he'll cut it out to the sideline. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. On 1st down, it's Simeon. Trying to lay one up deep. And this is caught inside the 5. A huge play there for Denver. 55 yards. So they're operating in the red zone. And the offense in a great spot. It's 1st and goal from the 3. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Devontae Booker, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos draw a bit closer. But there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A fake to Rawls. Now it's Wilson. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. A big play there on the catch and run. 39 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
1st and goal from the 8. A running play for Rawls. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Here comes the D swarming to the line. Now they'll put a receiver in motion left. Ball spotted at the 4. It's 2nd and goal. They'll run with Rawls. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. A dime look defensively. Big play coming on 3rd and goal.
They can still blitz.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Thomas Rawls with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the lead will grow by 1 more. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is fielded at the goal line. And they're going to have very poor field position as he's out of bounds at his 7-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now they're confident.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by...
Killed him.
Bum ass, get your ass off the damn game, man.
Damn, he was ranked 279.
I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's a Super Bowl 48 rematch featuring 2 linebackers who are tackling machines. It's Brandon Marshall going up against Bobby Wagner. With that, let's get you up to Seattle. We're standing by are our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Straight ahead, a rematch of Super Bowl 48, and it should be a good one, between the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks. Here we go in a rematch of Super Bowl 48. The Seahawks and Broncos are underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. In the backfield is Anderson. He's going to get the football. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
3-19.
Here's Simeon now on second down. Screen play, Anderson. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6. Throwing on third down, Simeon looking for his running back, and he's got him. And a gain there of 11 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. The offensive lineup now, and the guy we highlight, Emmanuel Sanders.
You can use him in any spot as a wide receiver. In the slot, out wide, it doesn't matter. He just makes plays.
Just beating the play clock, Simeon. And this one complete to Virgil Green. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. The penalty on first down backs him up 5. It's now first down and 15.
Detroit!
Following the penalty, Anderson. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's second and 8 now.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending.
Bro, you a bum, man. You a bum. You got no offense. You milk the clock to try to cover up the fact that you got no offense, so everybody don't blow your ass out by 30, 40 points. You snap the ball at regular time, I'll blow your ass out, man. Easy. You garbage as hell, bro. Where your passing game?
Defense showing blitz. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Curse goes in motion right. After the interception, here's Wilson. Forced out to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
It's a big play there for Seattle. 46 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
It's caught. Lockett. And he'll go out of bounds down inside the 15-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
It's a nice completion and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Dancing to his left. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And they'll send Williams in motion right. This is Rawls. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Earlier, partner, when discussing Russell Wilson, you said you think he's best when Seattle is running back centric. Is Thomas Rawls the centerpiece going forward there?
I think so because of what he did 2 seasons ago before he got hurt. Because he runs that offense the way they want it run. One cut, downhill, get upfield, and Thomas Rawls is perfect for that. If he stays healthy, that allows Russell Wilson now to throw the play action to bootleg passes that really hurt other teams defensively.
And Rawls has youth on his side, just 23.
Now what you finna do? You finna run the ball some more? Try to milk the clock so I don't jump up too much on you? You ain't got no offense or no defense.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And Denver getting set to take the field.
Milk the clock, too. Make sure you got your clock on like you've been doing the whole time.
We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of play.
C.J. Anderson. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line.
As soon as you go up by 2 possessions, it's a wrap. He ain't got nothing else left.
They send Thomas out to the right by himself. Simeon. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. 10 yards still left on 2nd down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will actually break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Detroit! Now let's go!
They give it to Anderson. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Frank Clark able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you
so sorry, man. Damn, you so garbage.
To get there.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They come out here in the eye.
Watch it now, Leopard! Leopard! Gun!
Booker's got it on the toss. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Devontae Booker taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. The 30. And he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points. Boy, they're down only one score. Still first half, but they're going to line up for the onside kick. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Lockett the return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So an entertaining first half, and now we have hit the 2-minute warning. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. This complete to Lockett. That throw good for 4. It's second down. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Here's Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Fresh set of downs here.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
19. Hey, big drive right here. Alert. Hey, alert.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick, and he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field, and the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
In the backfield is Anderson, and he'll get it up the middle. So he shifts past him and brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They send Thomas out to the right by himself. Back to throw, Simeon. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play.
And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. They come out here in the I. 3-19. On the handoff, this is Booker. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Now McManus on to kick this one off. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Buying time to his left. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. Well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No, let's go.
I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they've been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a couple a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure it out, because I think defensively they can be awfully strong.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years?
There goes Thomas Rolls. And a cutback left and a crease here. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Thomas Rolls, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this does not end well as he's going to be out of bounds here at his own 5-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They send Thomas out to the right by himself. Now a play fake here on first down. It got his man complete. 30. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Emmanuel Sanders, 95 yards. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, a conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, punt the ball away, but no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. I know they're down, but starting the third quarter there with the onside kick, what'd you think?
Well, I think that they're looking at it as we may not have as many possessions in this game as we want. There may be that sense and that feel that they've got to go ahead and make something happen. Steal a possession, try and steal some points, and get themselves right back in a position to try and win the game.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. 23 yards on the play.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. And the defense definitely showing blitz here.
The out route's such a timing route that sometimes the guy throwing the ball just throws it almost blindly, just kind of counts on that timing winning. And in this case, the ball was batted away.
Steps away to his left, and he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Von Miller able to drop him for a loss of 4.
Hey, 0, 0, 0.
And he motions the wide receiver. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. This will be caught at about the 3. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarter. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Thomas rolls. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And he's got it up and through. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is fielded a couple yards deep.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And his throw here's incomplete. Little lull in the action here to go over an offseason storyline that's kind of interesting. L.A. a couple years ago, they have no teams, and now they're going to have 2 with the move from San Diego to L.A. What does that mean for the league and for the Chargers?
It seems like an easier transition, doesn't it, than St. Louis when they moved back to Los Angeles.
Less culture shock.
Less culture shock, less, obviously geography, the whole deal. But it's a transition is not going to be easy. Remember, they're going to go play in a soccer stadium essentially for at least the first couple of years before they share a stadium with the Rams. So that changes things. Obviously, trying to create an identity in the market they haven't been in a long time. They began as the Los Angeles Chargers, but only played 1 season as such.
Here's Simeon. He's got time. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Virgil Green is tied in, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
When offenses dial up big shots downfield, they're not always for the guys out wide. Sometimes they want to go to their big target, deep downfield, and the defense breathes a sigh of relief. 50-50 balls, not easy to get away from the big targets.
Screen play, Anderson. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Here we go now. Green, 39. Over.
They are going to go. It's Simeon. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
Let's go. Tempo.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Brandon Marshall in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Back now in Seattle, Washington. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. One receiver left, 3 to the right.
14. Big jumbo.
On third down, Wilson shakes off the sack. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Vance Walker in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their...
And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Emmanuel Sanders, 87 yards. And the Broncos draw a bit closer. So now a big play here as the Broncos will line up to go for 2. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
All right, now, look at 56. 3-19.
And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. Now another try at 2 here from the 7 now.
All right, here we go. Green. All right, now, look at 56.
They'll look to throw. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. Interesting call there. They went for 2 even after the penalty from the 7-yard line. It didn't pay off.
I think the first thought is to go ahead and kick the extra point, but you're not kicking it from the 7-yard line,
yeah,
right? That's not where
push 5 back on the PAT as well.
Right, so they have to take it from the 15 to administer the penalty. So now you're kicking it around 40 yards. So I understand why they probably went for 2 there. They thought they had a better play and a better chance in that situation.
One receiver left, 3 to the right.
Zebra. 19.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Here's Wilson to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. And some extras coming up on the line here, ready for the blitz.
95.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Being chased out left. That is caught inside the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
From the 4-yard line, it's 1st and goal now. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. They're going to hurry back to the line now. 2nd and goal as the offense looks to try to punch it in. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
An extra defensive back in the game here on 3rd and goal. They'll need to get the play off quickly. On 3rd and goal, Procise. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You were able to keep them within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games.
The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a third and about 9 to go. And if the defense can hold here, this ball game is over.
And they're thinking more than just holding. They're thinking about a takeaway to finish things off.
Here we go.
The first throw for the backup Lynch. And his first throw here is incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. Now 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Wilson wants to throw it. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Hey, big drive right here.
And the wideout in motion. Wilson to throw. Complete outright to Kurz. It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a 4th down. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And this one is right down the middle. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So barring something extraordinary, something crazy here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Brandon, this will be a great win for them. The better team's going to win this game, no question about it.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Simeon. And that is incomplete. Throwing on 3rd down, Simeon. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Tonight we ain't going out, so we invited everybody. The made, well, they're way too strong, but ain't nobody saying sorry. Speakers so blown, no one knows what it is, but we keep it on repeat cause we don't want it to end. We got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives, and the rest of tonight for whatever feels right.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Manning's Giants going up against Wilson's Seahawks. With that, let's get you up to Seattle. We're standing by are our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New York Giants and the Seattle Seahawks. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass.
Hey,
Heads up. Zebra.
show it eight.
Now set. Blue 80.
Mike 41.
They go play action here on first down. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time, and that'll bring up second down. The New York Giants offensively, their starters, and one guy out wide to take a look at, Sterling Shepard.
A really mature man in every way coming out of Oklahoma. Personally and professionally. You can play him out wide, play him in the slot. He can return punts for you. He's a dynamic playmaker.
Throwing is Manning, backing up. Going for the deep ball. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there for the Giants. 56 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17. Ataba Rubin makes the stop. On second down, here's Manning. Caught on the right side by Adams. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good rec.
And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Orleans Darkwa. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Giants take it right down and score on the... And he puts it through. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Watch right.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right.
19. Switch.
On first down, Wilson. Complete. Richardson has it. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
That was not a completion that results in a highlight video. But at the same time, if you have those kind of completions all game long, eventually one of them might turn into a highlight.
The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Here's Wilson. This complete to Lockett. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. So completion on second down, that brings up third.
Check, 93's the mic, 93's the mic. Hey,
They'll send a receiver in motion left. First carry for Thomas Rawls. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on fourth down, and they're going to go for it. Here's Wilson, and it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. And New York set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. And he finds a man on the crossing route. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Mike 41. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up.
And he'll send the tight end in motion left.
Zebra. Check nickel.
Manning to throw once more. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third.
4 down.
Manning looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he's got Will Tye complete. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Will Tye, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. And it's 15-0. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And last time we saw them go for it in kind of an unusual situation. It's not like it's a fourth quarter do or die. They went for it, didn't get it. We'll see how that affects them this go-around.
Partner, I'm wondering if we're starting to see the effects of analytics coming into play here, where people are studying the number of possessions, how many times you should go for it, what position it leaves your team in. Maybe we're starting to see a little bit of that creeping into the NFL game.
Yeah, I think we've seen it in other sports, maybe into the NFL now as well. It's caught. Lockett. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down.
It's been a long day for you. Shift.
36 pounds.
Damn, he up 1-4,
And he
emoji
motions the
flushed
wide
face.
receiver. Now Wilson. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Doug Baldwin, 65 yards. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. And he's able to put it through. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And New York set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. So the D-line's going to spread out.
Gun. Tighten up. Hatch it.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I'm not sure that you'd call it a trick play, but they definitely showed some imagination there. I wouldn't be surprised if they want to come back and show this play a few more times before this one is over.
Manning to throw on 2nd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. He needed a yard, that's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
I feel like Eli Manning has just gone from downfield bomber to a guy who can complete everything.
He can hit him underneath now, can't
he? We just saw that there with that pass completion. The maturity of a veteran, taking what the defense will give him.
Throwing on 1st down is Manning. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with the football here as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 5 here to start things out.
Strong right. Push him back. Slam.
Now Manning again. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Oh, design run for their wideout. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Even though positive yardage was gained on that play, I think the defense has to be happy. Obviously, they were prepared for some trick plays coming into the game, and they looked very aware that those could happen on any given down.
6 yards on the pickup, and on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
Zebra. Check 6 guy. Zebra. Regular. Check. Hey, gun. Regular.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Hey, gun. Check 50.
Manning going to try and throw on third down. And that is incomplete. Will tie the intended receiver. And it's fourth down.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding third and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. And the tight end goes in motion left. They'll go for it. It's Manning. It's his target, the tight end, Will Tye. 19 yards there on the pickup. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. 4th and 2, they got it. That was kind of that gray area. Is that a feel thing, whether you go run or pass there offensively?
I think it's a feel thing. It's a tendency thing about what you like to do yourself on offense, as well as knowing how strong they are against the run on defense. Got to make a decision, and they made the correct one. Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Four minutes to play here in quarter number 2.
Zebra. Bang, 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 bang.
He'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. So now a 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary, a nickel look. Now Manning. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And they're going to try for the 4th down conversion. Manning and the offense staying put. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Manning indeed going for it on 4th. It's caught. Shepard. That one good for 21 yards. And the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. They come up in an offset eye. 1st down and goal. The offense knocking on the door. Oh, he bowls over him. And he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Orleans Darkwa with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Giants add on to their lead. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. The safety Landon Collins there to make the tackle.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to...
Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks.
Watch the pass. Zebra. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now it's Wilson, forced out to his left. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some change.
And he's hit and taken down. Eli sacked. Cliff Averill, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Zebra. Set. Gun.
Now Manning throwing on second down, surveying the field. Under pressure, and they got to him again. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on second down.
Zebra. Hey, watch it. Zebra.
And he goes in motion here in the backfield.
41's the mic. Zebra.
On third and long, it's Manning. Caught. It's Cruz, left side. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. It's a pickup of 19 yards on the play. And the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal. And they're going to speed things up here. 5 yards to go for the offense. First down and goal from that 5-yard line. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. 6 yards still to go here on 2nd and goal. And the hole closes. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Manning now on 3rd and goal. Flush to his right. And he finds Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard from 4 yards out. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. And he knocks it through. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Good stop. 14.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some.
Zebra.
And the wideout in motion. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Watch. Hey, alert 3.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right.
Motion.
2nd and 10 now. Wilson dancing to his left. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On third down, Wilson. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on fourth. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. Drops it underneath for Rawls. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Strong left. Rip left. Switch.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Kurz. And he's going to be out of bounds down in. Well, we're going to let you off a little easy there, LR. Halftime interrupted, and we are ready to get to this 3rd quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
Basin stills in the building, flash the camera. I'ma drop the hammer. Things done changed, the hip hop, sizzling Bobby out the slammer.
NFL on EA Sports. Two teams will need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's Wilson Seahawks going up against Wilson Seahawks. So let's get you up to CenturyLink Field in Seattle. On the call, here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Coming up, we've got what can only be described as a mirror image matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and...
I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. As we head towards kickoff, two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's Wilson's Seahawks going up against Wilson Seahawks. With that, let's get you up to Seattle. We're standing by are our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Coming up, we've got what can only be described as a mirror image matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and themselves. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Tonight we ain't going out, so we invited everybody. The made, well, they're way too strong, but ain't nobody saying sorry. The speaker's so blown, no one knows what it is, but we keep it on repeat 'cause we don't want it to end. We got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives. The rest of tonight for whatever feels right. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. One day we'll look back just shaking our heads, but right now we're too fast to slow down just yet. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. Just acting our age. just met, but we're acting like we go back. It's 3 a.m., but we ain't done yet, trying our best to make it last. Freedom running through us like an open. We're too high on being young, and there's still to race. We've got the rest.
I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Wilson's Seahawks going up against Wilson's Seahawks. And with that, we'll send you up to the Pacific Northwest and CenturyLink Field in Seattle, home of the 12s, as we'll welcome in our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, we are just south of historic Pioneer Square at CenturyLink Field in the beautiful city of Seattle, Washington. Coming up, we've got what can only be described as a mirror image matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and...
How do we fall apart? Faster than a hairpin trigger. Don't you say it. Don't you say it. One breath, it'll just break it. So shut your mouth and run me like a river. Shut your mouth, baby, stand and deliver. Holy hands, wanna make me a sinner. Like a river, like a river.
family, welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. As we head towards kickoff, two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's Wilson Seahawks going up against Wilson Seahawks. With that, let's get you up to Seattle. We're standing by are our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Coming up, we've got what can only be described as a mirror image matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and themselves.